Good morning. It's Monday, heading to work. It's almost 7 a.m. Heading up to Santa Clarita to shoot in some like warehouse stages. And it's not a studio, but it's like a nice insulated warehouse with parking and high ceilings. All right, question and answer time. I haven't been able to film much during the days because I'm working, so I'm going to do this on my drive to work this morning, 7:15, heading up to Santa Clarita from Burbank. What do you think about robots, the Kira and the Bolt on set? Any chance things like your Taika setup become the future of filmmaking? So the Bolt arms, like the pre-programmed robot arms, I think are super cool. Obviously, the major downside with those is you don't have a ton of flexibility, right? You have to pre-program the move. You can make modifications to the move, but you've got to be really careful because it can go wrong if you program something wrong. I've never actually used them. This is all from just watching or seeing them be used, or seeing videos of them and kind of understanding robotics, I guess. I think they definitely have their uses. It'd be great if every camera move could be that precise and that repeatable. But, the real world, you have to be able to adjust on the fly with actors or as things change, or as your vision changes too. In the moment, you might feel like something else is better to go for and go for it. So I definitely think they have their place. The Taika setup was the Matrix head on the dolly. We've been doing a lot of that, one, because we'll have the head there. It's not like we bring it in specifically for a dolly shot, but we've already been using it, say, on the jib or a crane, and if camera's built on it, and it'd be more work to rebuild into like studio mode, so we end up just using the head. That's a lot of times how you see that come about. Or if you can't lay dolly track, or if it's some kind of awkward pan where you got to pan 180 degrees and it'd be hard to keep an eye on your monitor, that kind of thing. So it's not really because it's a remote head we're using it, it's more of the other situation around it. The other question was, what has your experience been about being overworked on set, and if coronavirus will help or hurt us try and get more towards like 10-hour days as opposed to 12, 14-hour days? I can say the movie I'm doing right now, we've been sticking to 10-hour days pretty tight with 1-hour lunches. So they're giving us a chance to take a break, take a breather, take our masks off, and not working us to the bone. And honestly, it's been really nice. You don't make as much in overtime and everything, but I think people have to realize that they're going to be doing this job for the rest of their career, potentially. And if you accept the fact that you're going to be working 12, 14-hour days, you got to keep that in perspective, that it's not just today that you're working a long day, it's going to be potentially every day for the rest of your life. So in that regard, I think the 10-hour days are much more sustainable and overall more rewarding. And I think the money is going to have the biggest voice, honestly, after COVID goes away, which hopefully it does. And I think the producers are going to do whatever is most profitable, which seems to be working longer days and just getting stuff done. Like, look at Transpo, Local 399, the drive all the trucks and everything. Those guys, they get up earlier than all of us, go pick up the trucks, drive the trucks to set, stand around, do things all day. They even have like scheduled nap times on their time cards where they can like mark that they took a nap. And then at the end of the day, they wrap everything up, they take base camp, move it back to the parking lot or move it to the next location. Then from there, they have to go home. So those guys are doing like 18-hour, 20-hour days and then sleeping like 4 hours. They make a ton of money in overtime, but is it worth it in the long run? I don't think so. But if they have families to provide for, maybe it is. So about the Germany questions, my mom is German, my dad is American, but my dad's side has German descent. So I'm a German and American citizen, or United States citizen. I know there's South America, North America. I speak German a little bit, ein bisschen, and I've traveled back and forth probably 30-something times up until about the age of 18, visiting family out there. So I've been to Germany a lot, been all over there. one of my favorite places is Sylt, the island in the North Sea. I'm sure you guys know about it if you live in Germany. Ben is asking if I have any plans to be a Steadicam operator or a Trinity operator. Trinity is that crazy Steadicam gimbal hybrid. It's like the Steadicam post with the tilt roll stabilizer on the end.
It's all how you move.
I think it's cool. I think I'd have to step to Steadicam and then to that if I did that. Steadicam, on the other hand, is definitely something I've been considering. You know, eventually you run into the limits of gimbals in a narrative filmmaking sense, operating in the confines of a set. There's a lot of things you can't do that you can do with Steadicam when it comes to kind of the immediate reactivity and ability to inject more of a feel into the image. Gimbal tends to be tougher to react to subtle changes, but then maintain the, I guess, range to be able to move quick when needed, right? You kind of have to choose. I want to be super slow and smooth, or I want to, you know, be wide lens action whipping all over the place. And I just still struggle to find the ability to go back and forth between those seamlessly. That's the key, is seamlessly. So, you know, Steadicam would be great. And now with the Volt, it's easier than ever in a way to get good Steadicam shots without tens of years of experience. So, you know, we'll see if that comes here in the future. I've been practicing a little bit with my roommate Jason's Steadicam sled. And it's fun, and you know, I can do the things I want to do. The things I see in my mind, I can somewhat get them out on screen, as opposed to gimbal. Sometimes you're like a little more disconnected from that. Keen shoes, I used to wear Keens. Maybe I'll give them a try again. Have you had good results with those? Difference between Germany and the US in terms of safety and freedom. Freedom, I found Germany to be a very free place. I think people there have, you know, great ideas when it comes to just, you know, they're not afraid of nudity, and they're not limiting their kids. You know, the drinking age, there is no drinking age there, you know, so in a way you have a lot more freedoms in Germany. You know, I found it to be similar to the US, honestly, if not more free, right? But I think they restrict the right things, right? Like guns and weapons meant to kill people. I don't think those should be as free as they are here. I know it's one of our amendments, but I think things were written in different times when different rules applied, you know. Safety. I feel pretty safe here. I always felt safe in Germany. So, you know, the whole, the shooting situation out here, I mean, you never think it's going to happen to you, and most likely it won't, statistically. So it's not something I think of on a day-to-day basis. I have been pretty close to some gun violence. When we were shooting straight out of Compton, in Compton, California, I think our day one of production, a guy got shot about a block away, and he actually ran right past me, bleeding. You know, but it was a drive-by shooting, and the people that shot him drove away. So, you know, it was scary, but at the same time, yeah, you didn't know what was happening in the moment, but we had plenty of police around us as protection. Have I ever thought about being a DP? Yes. I do enjoy DPing. I like having a little more ownership over the final product. But I also like learning from DPs as an operator, which is, I guess, part of the process of eventually DPing. And then, you know, I've been given little chances here and there to shoot things on our movies, like little insert units or second units, and that's always really rewarding, you know, being given a little more responsibility. So yeah, I could see myself DPing. There is an aspect of operating, that's nice, because at the end of the day you get to walk away, and at the end of the show or end of the movie you get to walk away and, you know, start the next thing, and you don't have as much pre and post production that you got to take care of.